are these people?
You're here to talk about this stuff.
I am partially, yes.
The Rage Against the War Machine on February 19th. Speaking of hour-long rants, Rage Against the War Machine, February 19th.
That should be the name of like my show. I should have a show called
Hour Long Rant. That is like 3 hours. All right. I have to do. Let's see if this button works. Oh my God, it did! Look at that.
Nice.
It did.
Look at that.
So they have a fabulous website that literally counts down the dates, minutes, seconds.
Dude, they're working so hard. I mean, listen, okay, I want to preface this first of all. I am not an organizer on this rally in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I am helping solely on the Assange stuff. I'm doing a little bit of social media stuff for them on the Assange messaging, all of that stuff. That's it. Like, I don't want to take any undue credit. There's a lot of people working extremely hard to try to make this rally happen. They're trying to make it as big and as powerful as they possibly can. The website's part of it. I mean, there are people who are literally, I mean, Collin, you've organized. They're not sleeping. Angela McArdle just had a baby. Like she started organizing this while she was still pregnant. And Nick said that she was calling him from the hospital right after having given birth.
Nice.
So they're working really, really hard on this. I realize some people have problems with the Libertarian Party. Some people have problems with the People's Party. Some people have problems with the Mises Caucus. Some people have problems with me.
They'll be all right.
I don't care. You'll be fine. You put on your big girl panties and show up for a cause that matters.
How sexist of you, Misty Williams, right? Winston. God, why am you feel like
it's
I got
like Pasta calling me Mindy. I'm now Mindy Williams.
Mindy Williams. I had Wendy Williams stuck in my head is what happened. You know?
How are you doing?
Which
we need on the soundboard, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'll put fucking like Williams on there. So Lincoln Memorial, 12:30 p.m. Sunday, 19th. Anniversary of the Ukraine
that's
War.
Where it starts. There's speakers and stuff there. Then there's going to be a march to the White House. So it's a very mobile protest. Wear your walking shoes, dress warmly. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. You guys know how that works in DC in February. It's always kind of a crapshoot. It's really a crapshoot in DC weather-wise anyways.
I like their demands. Not one
the demands are fantastic.
Ukraine, plus the Pentagon budget, abolish war and empire. Good for them. I hope they get that.
Disband NATO, restore civil liberties,
free Julian
Assange.
Yeah,
which I love. They had me at that.
Stop the war inflation. Yeah, good stuff. I like all that.
Yeah.
And we scroll down more. We get to coalition, which half the people don't like the other half of people. So what else is new?
Oh my god.
But
we like
Here's
this
the
one. Thing. That's me. Well, I mean, that's me and Andrew and Daniel and Paula and Kendra and lots of people.
All the people.
Yeah, we've never been like, we don't have like a member list, or we're very, very decentralized. It was always intended to be that way. There's people in Tulsa doing work. There's people in Seattle doing work. Like there's a DC group. Like there's, it's all just the Assange stuff in general is very decentralized, as it should be. But yeah, this whole, I can't go to a rally because there's somebody there that I don't like is mind-blowingly stupid.
I mean,
explain why, please.
Explain why. Feel free.
Explain why that's stupid.
Yes, explain.
Because listen, y'all, I don't agree with anybody on everything. And it's really mind-blowing to me. This is about ending the war machine. If your personal beef with Nick Brana is bigger than ending the military-industrial complex, you need to rethink your priorities. There's people there that I don't like. There's people there that I don't trust. There's speakers that I don't really enjoy. I don't care. I'm going to show up because this is about ending the military industrial complex, which is completely out of control. We all know that. It's like $800 and some odd billion a year that we know of. We have like 1,000 military bases across the globe. We're illegally occupying multiple countries. We're participating in several genocides.
We're destroying
the globe.
I'm always curious about the people who scoff at attending a rally with libertarians or conservatives. but who then tweet about supporting workers on strike. Do they support all the workers or just the ones that agree with them? And you're referencing... Well,
this is what drives me. Listen, I am on the quote unquote left. That, I mean, generally speaking, I don't like labels, but that's where people put me, which is fine. I don't care. If you want to shove me in a box, that's fine. But it drives me nuts when I see people on the left, when there's a strikers, oh, support the workers. And I always think to myself, all the workers or just the ones that agree with you? Because there's a whole lot of people on the quote unquote left who, if you voted for Trump, or if you don't read the right books, or if you're not the right kind of leftist, or if you watch the wrong podcaster, then they don't want anything to do with you. And so they're hypocrites. You don't actually believe in worker solidarity and class solidarity. You agree with solidarity with people that you agree with. And that I don't do that. I don't play that game. And it's weird that anybody does, especially on an issue as big as war. I mean, so can we not all agree on that, please?
Jim Jam with Chris Mulls, who we don't always agree with. We don't always agree with this guy. But we agree with him here.
Putting those political differences aside and coming together around your union?
Absolutely. You know, Staten Island, if people don't know, is Trump Island. You know, it's not democratic at all. And we couldn't tie ourselves to political candidates. Even though individually I may do so from time to time, endorse certain folks. The union itself, ALU, doesn't endorse politicians. We don't pick sides. We don't care whether you left, right, up, down, middle, red, green, blue, yellow. It doesn't matter. We want to represent all workers. At the end of the day, everybody's a worker. You know, it's not about political views, and we can't, you know, pick and choose who we want to organize with. We want to include everybody.
So what you're saying is, if you're an Amazon worker, it doesn't matter if you're a communist, a socialist, a Democrat, a libertarian, a gun nut, or a Trumper. You all are experiencing the same kind of oppression from the same oligarchy. And so you all have common needs, and you come around, you can coalesce along common ideas. That's what you're saying.
That's what solidarity is. You know, people scream solidarity, but don't know what it is. You know, they pick and choose when they want to use it. You know, if you're talking about solidarity, you gotta find a commonality. You gotta build up the commonality, and the commonality for Amazon workers is the working conditions, the environment, the culture. And what we do with ALU is we created a culture that resonates with the mass and the majority, and that's how you form a union, and that's what a union should represent. You're talking about unity. You're talking about bringing people together. Once again, we build off the commonality of what the issues are, so we don't fall into the rabbit hole of, because you're left or right, we don't want to organize with you.
Solidarity is a verb.
Yeah.
Straight up. Solidarity is a verb. And it's very frustrating to me that we still have to have these conversations. That's what he just said is common fucking sense. It's common sense. If you have a common cause, and there are people who are willing to work with you. I'm selfish, y'all. I want to get this shit done. Like, I want to get shit done. I want to get fucking healthcare. I want to end the fucking wars. I want to free Julian Assange. I want to do all of these things. I don't just want to talk about it. And if that means that I have to show up to a rally where people who I don't agree with and don't like are also going to be there, I'll fucking do it. If that means that I have to go on shows where it's, you know, people that I don't, I mean, listen, over the past couple of years, I've made a concentrated effort to step outside of my political bubble, and reach out to people who I wouldn't ordinarily talk to. And in doing so, I've met some of the most awesome people who are kind to me and who are open to me and who we disagree on a lot. And that's okay. Like, I've made legitimate friendships with libertarians and right wingers and conservatives, and we fucking disagree on some shit. And that's okay, you guys. It's okay to have disagreements. We're all grown-ups. But when you can find common cause and fight for something that matters, you should be willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm amazed at the lineup. Lineup's pretty fucking sweet. We got Jimmy Dore, of course, Medea Benjamin, Scott Horton, Ann Wright, Andrew Napolitano, Dennis Kucinich, David Swanson, Daniel McAdams, Garland Nixon, Max Blumenthal, Anya Parampil, Supreme, aka Supreme, Tara Reid, Diane Saar, Kim Iverson, Jackson Hinkle, Pasta Jardula, who looks like the most interesting man in the world in that photo.
He does, doesn't it? I don't know if it's AI, but it looks like it, right?
I
It looks
think that's just
he looks
he's
very
got good looks.
handsome.
This is like right back from South America. He's got the tan going.
The tan, yeah.
You know,
We love pasta.
like,
Yeah.
Great.
And listen, there's some speakers there that I don't agree with on everything.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's all right. Like, that's fine. It makes me really happy to see people doing this, because this is, I mean, the entirety of the Assange movement, this has always been what it's been about, is to bring people together across ideologies and across the political spectrum for a cause that we should all care about. The October 8th rally was very indicative of that. It was a real effort for us. I mean, we really, we're very cognizant of who we were asking and where they stood on the political spectrum. We wanted to have a wide breadth of speakers, and we did that. And it's really encouraging to see that happening more on issues like this.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. They do ask for donations, which you can find. I got the links down there in the description for it. You go here, you click donate. This is pretty easy peasy. You can figure it out.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of questions surrounding the fundraising and the expenses and where money's being spent and all of that stuff. I think a lot of that is, it's the same people all the time who want to try to find any way, shape, or form to sabotage or discredit events like this. They do it to my stuff. They do it to the healthcare rallies. They do it all the time, right? It's the same group of people. But I'm not going to say, listen, you're concerned about fundraising. I understand. We've all been screwed over. We all hear the word grifter a lot. It's tossed about. We're all kind of paranoid about being taken advantage of. They are going to be fully monetarily transparent. I've talked to them. They have been very, very clear about that. They haven't really spent anything yet. They've spent about $500 on PR. They're kind of waiting until the last possible minute because they are worried about weather. They're worried about things happening. The protests or the rallies that were supposed to happen in the UK have been facing a very serious issue with trying to even find a venue that will permit them to have the rally.
Right. Permitting is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
they're trying to wait until last possible minute. They're working with a company to provide them with a stage and a really good audio system, a really good speaker system with good microphones and a jumbotron. They're trying to make this like a very big
It makes
deal.
a difference.
So it does. And people will say, oh, well, that's not necessary. And listen, of course, that's not necessary. Like in October, we rented speakers. I didn't have to do that. I could have just used a megaphone, but that sound system made the rally so much better. You know what I mean? It made it so much easier to hear. We had a lot of speakers. It would have been really terrible to try to pass around a megaphone.
Have you heard? Okay, Dave Chappelle has a bit about it where he talks about Bill Cosby gave the speaker system for Martin Luther King to use for his "I Have a Dream" speech. Like,
really?
Yeah. He was like, he rapes, but he saves. Like, this is a good bit. You should go watch it.
I haven't seen that one. But yeah, I mean, listen, no, and I'll say it again. I keep saying this. If you don't want to donate, don't donate. Nobody's forcing you to.
Yeah.
I'm not holding a gun to your head. Nobody is. If you don't want to donate, if you feel uncomfortable, if you have any reservations about doing so, then just don't donate. That's okay. Yeah. It's fine. But if you believe in the cause and you think that it's a good thing to, chip in $5 for or whatever, then it would be helpful because organizing's not cheap. I mean, Collin, you've helped me organize stuff. You've organized your own stuff. I mean, even just my little rallies that we do are very expensive. It's like thousands of dollars just to do one of my little things. The October 8th event was, I don't even know how much entirely because I didn't pay for all of it. Ben Cohen chipped in with some stuff and Assange Defense chipped in for part of it. Then we chipped in for part of it. We still have some money left over because I was dumb and went on Jimmy Dore last fucking minute.
Yeah.
I should have gone on way earlier. But I mean, lesson learned.
I would argue that was probably a perfect time. Honestly,
I don't know because seriously, money flooded in, and I legitimately was like, I don't even have time to spend this. It's like days away. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to buy? What am I supposed to buy? How am I supposed to spend this? I don't even know. I mean, it did help us. I was able to provide donuts and coffee for the volunteers who were helping set up. I was able to pay our photographer and our videographer.
Donuts and coffee. You're really living high on this grift. Donuts and coffee, right? Like if it was like lobster bisque and like
listen, We did have an Airbnb that delivery drivers were willing to come to this time. So I
not
really
an
did like step
Airbnb.
up my game. Yeah.
Like,
And it was like a nice one that delivery drivers weren't afraid to come to this time. So moving on up.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Go down there, hit the donate thing if you got some extra cash. I'm sure it'll be used for something. It'll buy
just
someone
a heads up
Kit Kat.
too. Just a heads up too. If you are in the cities that, hold on, let me make sure. I think it's Wilmington and hold on. Dang it, I should have come more prepared. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Philadelphia and Wilmington. So on that website, Reef, there's a transportation button.
Yeah.
They are trying to get buses organized. That's another thing that they're trying to get expenses for. They're trying to organize buses to get people from local, or not local, but nearby locations. So if you're in Wilmington or Philadelphia, they have transportation lined up. They're working on other locations as well. So if you want to come, check out the transportation.
Resources, transportation, right here.
Yeah. So they have 2 cities lined up. They're still working. They're trying to get other locations as well. So,
cool.
Yeah. Oh, they do have some, it looks like. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, if you are interested in coming and you don't have a way to get there, check out the transportation page, and see if they have one for somewhere that's close by to you.
Fantastic.
Which I think is cool. That'll really help people get out there. That's one of the biggest restrictions for people to attend these things is travel costs.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't live in or close to DC, it's expensive, like gas or, a flight or whatever. It gets really pricey really fast. So it's cool that they're doing that. That's another thing that the fundraising is going for. So if you feel inclined to donate, please do.
Yep.